Very good. Okay.
It's got bigger screens.
Please rise for a pledge of allegiance.
Yeah.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I call this meeting of Independent School District 544 to order. Clerk, will you establish a quorum for us, please?
I will. Kirby Anderson.
Here.
Natalie Knutson. Here. Melanie Cole.
Here.
Matthew Limkey.
Here.
Missy Hermes, present. Stephen Vegason.
Here.
There is a quorum.
Thank you. Moving on to our agenda, we're just going to add one thing, and that's under reports. We're going to put Mark Maston in for school closing. And with that one change, do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Agenda passes. Moving on to acknowledgements, let's say thank you to Lois Wolbrook for her donation of a clarinet to the Kennedy Secondary School Music Department, and to Lake Region Electric Cooperative for their donation of $500 for a student scholarship, Outstanding Honor Scholarship. So thank you for that. Moving on to reports, Kitty Rund is not here today, so we're going to go Dean Monkey, secondary principal.
Hey, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
And so we've gotten second semester started here as of last Tuesday. And to keep with the tradition here of not having a full week of school in January, looks like we're not going to make it this week either. So, but it has been a great start for us. I think our counseling office cleared out within 2 days as far as just schedule changes and making sure people had a regular full schedule. So that was really positive for us. And really we're just, you know, kind of in that, if we can just get through a few cold, snowy days here, it's kind of in that time of the school year where you're just kind of plowing through the school days, and it's just a great time for the teachers. A lot of these classes might be Part B and just repeats for some of our student-teacher relationships there. So it's really going well. We can't thank our counseling office enough for those smooth transitions between those terms. They put a lot of work in to make sure that that happens. Along with that, we've getting ready now to start the registration process for next year, especially at our high school level. We've got a registration handbook that is going to print right now and should be distributed here shortly, because we do, within the first 2 weeks of February, have our 8th graders through our juniors register for some classes for next year. Just a handful of the things that might be changes a little bit. We have you on the agenda for tonight, a work experience coordinator position and the opportunity for some additional internships and career exploration possibilities for our high school students. So that's a positive move there. And we keep kind of tweaking our music schedule as far as what courses that we're offering and at what times. And I think we've got some good changes proposed for next year as well in that area. A couple other things on the agenda here. We do have a Prism concert here tonight, so I can blast that out on the airways here that concert is still on for tonight. And we'll have our wind ensemble, our orchestra, and our chamber singers involved in that concert here this evening, starting at 7 o'clock in the auditorium. Next Monday, we start Snowball Week around here for our high school. We've got coronation already on next Monday, February 4th. And so that is all in full swing right now. And that is at 1:30 in the afternoon. We like to do kind of one of these events in the afternoon so that we can guarantee that kind of all of our students, especially our high school students, will be participating in that event. So it's nice to have that coronation during the day. We'll clear everybody out by 2:45 so we can get the buses going again. And we're also starting in February here on the second Saturday, our middle school Saturday school program. An opportunity for some of our students that maybe came just a little bit away from passing coursework during that Q1, Q2. And we'll start right now working with some of those students, inviting them in here from about 8:30 to 11 on a Saturday morning. We're going to do about 13 of those between now and May, just to kind of give them a little boost, see if they're close, if they can finish up those courses, so we don't have to have them involved in our summer school program that happens in June. And just a little bit more word about that whole work experience position that we're looking at for next year. We're doing some pilot things this year, and we have 3 of our seniors involved in the program as a pilot for this spring. One's going to go to one of our auto dealerships here in town. We've got somebody in healthcare at Lake Region, and we've got a student going off to a graphic designer here in town. So just a great opportunity for those 3 seniors to go out, have this kind of experience, and let us kind of try a little bit working with our local businesses and work some of the kinks out. So we appreciate those 3 students that are willing to work with us on that program. So I think that's about what I have for you tonight. Questions?
I have questions. You serve breakfast to the middle school students that are coming to that Saturday school?
Yes, we have continental breakfast, as
Okay.
you would say. So we do have some things with juice and other things that we offer, but yep, there is a little bit there.
Okay. Any other questions?
Can the students voluntarily come, or are they identified by the staff?
Yeah, Alana Johnson in our counseling office has kind of head this up for us. And really, the students have been pre-identified, and they've either been indicated by a counselor, a parent, or a teacher of looking to do some work on that first and second quarter. And what they do is they'll take a folder for each kid that's identified. They'll contact the teachers, put whatever work is necessary in that folder, and then have it ready for the student on Saturday morning. And when they finish what's ever in the folder, they end up getting a passing grade for that course, and we move on to the next student. So, and we've had about 6 of our staff members at the middle school level that have been involved in this program since we started it a few years ago, and they just keep coming back, and they know the routine, and it really works well to get some of those kids through.
Any other questions?
All right, thank you.
Mark Maston, school closing.
Well, I don't have a whole lot to say other than we are closed tomorrow and Wednesday. Old Man Winter just decided to make a big presentation here coming up. And our biggest concern, of course, was the wind chills. Tomorrow's, it was a couple hours ago that we looked at it, it was 19 below on Tuesday at noon. And that's without the wind chill. By the time you had the wind chills, they're talking in excess of 40 to 50 below. So makes the buses run tougher, makes kids a little colder and everything else. And we just felt the safe thing to do was to call school off. There was a lot of rumors that the governor was going to call it off. He apparently made a statement to the Brainerd Press that was a possibility, and everything I've been reading since then is he's been retracting on that, basically saying that's a school board local control type of thing. Dean happens to belong, he should probably explain the situation a lot better than I, but he and of course Jerry also belongs to superintendents, he belongs to some principals, and they're texting back and forth, and it became pretty obvious by about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock today that most of the schools in the area were going to be closed for the next 2 days, so we concurred with that as well. We held off until letting people know until after school was out, simply because we didn't want the loud cheering inside of all the kids disrupting that last hour of school. So, but by now most parents have been informed, and it's all out on the media, and we'll go from there. So if you have any other questions at all, but otherwise pretty straightforward. We're closed.
Just a comment that It might have been helpful for the kids to bring work home if they would have known right at the end of the day, just thought.
That's true in some classes, but other classes, they've already had their class and been done, and
Yeah.
so, and to get stuff rearranged, like I said, within the hour, in some classes, they probably wouldn't have been able to do that either, just to plan that far ahead. But we did what we could, and away we go.
I think it's important. You talked about how you and Dean communicated with your area schools. I think you listed 11 or 12 schools here within 50 miles that had already decided to do it, so.
Yeah.
Seems
They
to
may
be-
not have officially had done it, but yes, they had announced to us that that's what they're
And
doing.
I think that the reason the governor backed out was because, I think when Governor Dayton did it a few years ago, he took a lot of heat from some southern district schools because it wasn't as cold in the south that day. And so then they had to make up that day, even though it was a perfectly nice day for them. And up from here to the border in Canada.
And then they
was
have to make
horrible,
up
so-
for a day they didn't need to be gone.
Right, so I think that he kind of heard that loud and clear, that the school districts wanted to keep that local decision local.
Any other questions? Thank you, Mark.
You bet.
Okay, moving on to our general consent items, we need to approve the minutes of the reorganizational school board meeting and the regular school board meeting held on January 14th, 2019. There is no bills and treasurer's report. We'll cross that one out.
Oh, yes. That should
So we're
have
gonna cross
been
that two out,
Thank
there
you.
is no bills or treasurer's report. Item number 3, personnel.
I guess I recommend the following personnel changes. Support staff hire of Mariah Jewell. She'll be a long-term secretary substitute at the district office. Approximately start date is 2/4/19. She'll be substituting for someone that's on a leave. Support staff resignation, Allison Rismoen. She works in the cafeteria here at Kennedy Secondary School. Her last day of work was January 17th. Certified staff overload, Lynette Ringquist. She's an IQ elementary teacher, and it's an overload of a .0833 FTE, which is one class for one semester. And this is due to an increase in enrollment at the IQ Academy going into second semester. And then further down, under new business, you'll also see what Dean had highlighted also is a work-based learning coordinator position. And then also a request for additional .5 FTE of a special education paraprofessional position. And this is due to an enrollment of a student that's just coming into our school. Actually, the student is enrolled right now, and we're using a substitute to cover until we get someone hired, so, okay.
Item number 4, we have assigned Elaine Jenke as our Iowa, which is Identified Official with Authority for MDE, External User Access Recertification System. Item number 5 is to assign Derek Abrams as the designated Minnesota High School League School Representative and Matthew Lemke as the designated Minnesota State High School League School Board Representative. With that, do I have a motion to approve the consent items?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Discussion?
No, that would just be the consent items, that wouldn't include 5 and 6 that are under new business, do they have to be?
Nope, that's,
Nope.
they're separate.
I was just
Okay,
touching base
No, I
as
understand.
HR.
Right, that's why I was just
Yeah.
clarifying, thank you.
Yep, nope, just that.
Okay.
Mr. Monkey, do you know what our numbers are right now at IQ, just roughly or not?
The last number I heard was 623, but they were coming in, and what's gonna happen is the 2 other IQ schools that are closely connected with K-12 will close their enrollment shortly, and then we'll get an influx from there.
Any other discussion? With that, motion to approve, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? General consent items passed. There is no old business. Moving on to new business. Item number 1 is we have a resolution directing the administration to make recommendations for reductions in programs and positions and reasons therefore. Whereas the financial condition of the school district dictates that the school board must reduce expenditures, and whereas this reduction in expenditure may include discontinuance of positions and discontinuance or curtailment of programs, and whereas a determination must be made as to which teachers' contracts must be terminated and not renewed, and which teachers may be placed on unrequested leave of absence without pay or fringe benefits, and effecting discontinuance of positions. Be it resolved by the School Board of Independent School District number 544 as follows: that the school board hereby directs the superintendent of schools and the administration to consider the discontinuance of programs or positions to effectuate economies in the school district, reduce expenditures, and make recommendations to the school board for the discontinuance of programs and curtailment of programs. With that, will somebody offer that resolution and move for its adoption?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Discussion.
I would just like to say that this is annual language that is here every year. Every school district in the state does it. If you don't do this, then you're not following some of the other rules that are set aside in how you can lay off employees. So this is kind of the, even if you were growing enrollment and you were adding people and so forth, you would still be doing this language.
Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Natalie Knudsen?
Yes.
Melanie Cole?
Yes.
Matthew Lemke?
Yes.
Missy Hermes, yes. Stephen Biggessa?
Yes.
Kirby Anderson?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Item number 2, we have a fundraiser request to be held between February 1st, 2019 and September 30th, 2019. This was sent out electronically to us to take a look at. Do we have a motion to approve these funding requests? Steve? Okay, do we have a second?
Second?
Missy? Any discussion? I think they're fairly
I
standard.
didn't see anything that was weird.
With that, all those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 3, we have a resolution on the school board supporting Form B application to the Minnesota State High School League Foundation. Whereas the Minnesota State High School League Foundation was formed to provide support for Minnesota high school youth to participate in athletics and fine arts. Whereas the District 544 School Board recognizes the value of students' participation in extracurricular activities. And whereas the Minnesota High School League Foundation is offering grants and funding to assist school districts to provide seminar trainings, opportunities, and support for specific school functions for student, faculty, members, officials, and others who are involved in athletic and fine art programs. Therefore, be it resolved by the 544 School Board, support the district's application to the Minnesota State High School League Foundation for a Form B grant. Will somebody offer that resolution and move for its adoption?
I'll offer the resolution and move for its adoption.
Do we have a second?
One second.
And this too has been an annual since they've started to offer this, so.
What happens if we don't do it?
We don't get
Yeah,
funding.
there's about $2,000 of funding that the school
Mhm.
district gets.
Right.
That goes, yeah,
To sports
towards,
and-
yep.
and
For
activities.
the
And then that
students.
means fewer kids get a chance to participate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just curious.
Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Melanie Cole?
Yes.
Matt Lemke?
Yes.
Missy Hermes, yes. Stephen Biggessa?
Yes.
Kirby Anderson?
Yes.
Natalie Knudsen?
Yes.
Resolution passes.
Thank you. Item number 4, we have authorized the use of credit cards through Capital One. Mark Masson, you want to speak on this before entertaining the motion?
Sure, currently we're with a different company on our credit card system, or 2 actually. One credit card is what's called a virtual card. Basically, we pay our bills that way through that credit card system, and the vendor on the other side has to log in to collect their money. The other, and the advantage point of doing that is then Capital One gives us a percentage back. So it actually pays us to pay our bills that way electronically. The other side of it, we had another company that, where we, buildings will have a credit card. They'll go to the local store to buy something, and they have the credit card, they use it and bring it back. Again, switching it up, trying to consolidate, and also to get more money back, because our current system does not, it's neutral to us whether they use it or not, but with Capital One, we'll get a percentage back, 1.25%.
Thank you, Mark.
Thanks.
Any idea how much you got back? This is new you haven't used this before, or you are using this now?
We are using the systems, but we're not using Capital One to do it.
Okay, now
So-
you're gonna start getting rewards. from it.
Exactly.
Okay.
The virtual card that I mentioned, where we pay our bills, we do get a percentage back, but it hasn't been close to 1.25% for a long time, so.
Very good.
So do I have a motion to authorize the use of the credit cards through Capital One?
So moved.
I need
Do
to
it.
recuse myself.
Okay, Steve's gonna
Okay.
accuse himself. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any other discussion?
Will you change, I think we only have a few staff credit cards out. Will they be changed as well?
Yes, all of those will get changed,
Okay,
and so that we'll get into this new system.
okay, very good. Thank you.
Any other discussion? All those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 5, request for a work-based learning coordinator position, 1 FTE, beginning in the 2019-2020 school year. Do we have a motion to approve this?
So moved.
I'll second.
Okay, Steve, motion.
Second.
Any discussion on this?
It's more of a comment. I mean, I love this idea of getting kids out into the real world and getting school credit for it, but also, doing it in a way that is organized and not just free labor for some of these business owners. I mean, when I got on the school board, it was, I want to figure out ways to help kids be successful, whether it's college or not college, and this is, or at least not college right away. Maybe you work and the employer pays for it. I wish we were hiring more, honestly, but it's nice. I mean, this is new, I get it, we have to start somewhere, but I sure hope that our school continues to go in this direction, because not everybody goes to college, and you don't have to go to college to be successful, to be quite honest. There are people who do very well otherwise. But anyway, so I'm just really happy to see this on the agenda for approval. So.
Any other discussion on it? I was gonna make a comment, just that one of the persons that I had heard just talking about skills gap between students even graduating from college and actually what the workforce needs, that hopefully by doing this, we can begin to fill that skills gap and actually get that connection with the workforce to have our students prepared to go out and really
Right.
fulfill that skill gap.
If I'm a business owner and I have a pool of applicants, I don't care about your GPA. If there's somebody who's got experience, and doing the kind of work, I'm gonna probably gravitate, that person's gonna have an advantage versus a kid that just graduated college. Not that college is bad, I'm not saying that college is bad, but work experience really matters, so it can help our kids get ahead a little bit.
Any other comments? All those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 6 is the request for additional 0.5 FTE for special education paraprofessional. Do we have a motion to approve that?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? I think Elaine already talked on that, so. All those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. That concludes our regular school board meeting. Following this meeting, we will go into a work session with a presentation by Dr. Joe Hill, superintendent hiring process, and U.S. Aquatics for the design and bidding of a pool pipe repair project. Mr. Maston, yes. Another project for our pool. Yes, our next regular school board meeting will be Monday, February 11th at 5:15, right here at the Otter Community Room at Kennedy Secondary School. So with that, do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Yes.
We're all gonna say
Yeah.
Natalie?
It'll be a little quicker.
Any discussion? All those in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.
Also, Mr. Anderson.